You've probably trusted a famous face before you check the details. On April 27, 2017, people landed on Great Exuma for Fyre Festival, believing they had bought a weekend of private island luxury. They expected villas, music, yachts, and expensive food. What they found were tents, confusion, and luggage being dragged out of a shipping container in the dark. Then came the meal that turned the whole dream into a joke. 2 slices of bread, a piece of cheese, and a small salad in a plastic box. The island was real. The promise wasn't. So how did so many people buy the picture before they checked the ground underneath it? Billy McFarland was 25, young enough to look like the face of a new kind of startup, and confident enough to sell an impossible weekend as if it already existed. Fyre Festival was supposed to promote Fyre Media, a company built around booking artists and celebrities. The festival wasn't just a concert, it was a showcase, a proof of concept, a way to say, look at the people we can reach. And the public version looked perfect. Blue water, beautiful models, private planes, a place most people would never enter unless someone gave them permission. The product wasn't only a ticket, it was a role. You weren't just going to a festival, you were becoming the kind of person who gets invited to one. But polished images can hide basic questions. Where will people sleep? Who is building it? What is actually ready? Those questions were boring. The fantasy wasn't. The strongest part of the campaign wasn't the island. It was the signal. Influencers and celebrities posted about Fyre Festival. The pitch deck called them fire starters. According to that deck, the campaign reached 300 million social impressions in its first 48 hours. Think about what that does to a person. You don't see infrastructure, you see attention. You don't see food storage, contracts, plumbing, or emergency plans. You see famous people acting like the thing is already real. That's social proof. When you're unsure, you look at what other people seem to believe. And if enough of them look confident, the promise starts to feel like evidence. Then, scarcity makes it worse. The festival wasn't presented as something anyone could casually attend. It was limited, exclusive, expensive. The kind of thing you could miss and then watch everyone else post about. You've probably seen a smaller version of this. A course with a countdown timer. A private group with limited spots. A product that feels more valuable because everyone seems desperate to get in. For Fyre, the warning signs arrived before the guests fully understood them. Blink-182 pulled out, saying they weren't confident they could give fans the quality of performance they always deliver. Flights were delayed. People already on the island started reporting tents, confusion, and no clear plan. But by then, many guests had already paid. They had already imagined themselves there. That matters. Once you've bought the identity, it's harder to admit the thing underneath might not exist. Then the planes landed. At first, the easy explanation was simple. Bad planning. A festival failed. A rich kid vacation went wrong. The internet laughed at the sandwich. But the public story was too small. Later, court documents described a deeper problem. McFarland had shown investors a version of Fyre Media that didn't match reality. He claimed the company had made millions from artist bookings. The actual booking revenue from May 2016 to April 2017 was $57,433. Another detail was even colder. Documents claimed more than 2,500 confirmed bookings in 1 month. In reality, there were 60 bookings in an entire year. That's the part that changes the story. Fyre wasn't only a festival that collapsed on arrival. It was a world built from signals before it was built from facts. Here's the line worth remembering. When enough people look confident, a promise can start to feel like evidence. And honestly, that's the scary part. The manipulation didn't begin when guests saw the tents. It began when the image made doubt feel like being left behind. Most of us will never fly to a failed luxury festival, but the mechanism is familiar. You see a face you trust, a group you want to join, a price that makes the thing feel serious, a deadline that makes hesitation feel like weakness. Maybe it's a course, an investment, a membership, a trip, or a product everyone seems to want. You tell yourself you're choosing the thing. Sometimes you're choosing the version of yourself inside the thing. That doesn't mean every exclusive offer is a scam thing. It means the boring questions matter most when the fantasy feels best. Who is responsible? What is actually ready? What happens if it fails? The final question isn't why they believed it. It's this: do I want this because I checked reality, or because I'm scared to be outside the picture?